What is up, guys? Welcome back to a new video. This is going to be the first video of the series of the Focus ST. I'll do kind of like a formal what are my initial impressions once I first got this car and kind of how it's been over the last, wow, I've owned it for about a year. Haven't really driven it, but I'm just starting to get into driving it, and we're going to start making some videos, modifying it, and make a new series. So hopefully you guys are excited for this series. I know everyone liked the Mazda Speed. That's come and gone. Now it's time to make room in the garage for a new platform so we can explore this, kind of get used to it, and then from there on we'll just keep moving on to different platforms and making series about them. So what we're doing today is installing some JBR solid shifter bushings. Now, why would you want to do this to your car? Well, the OEM shifter bushings, they're rubber and they're very sloppy. So kind of like the Mazda Speed 3, what we did, it made it more notchy because these are cable shifters. They're not direct to the transmission like a Subaru. So that's what we're going to be doing. It'll help with that kind of sloppy feeling when you're shifting, and it'll make overall driving a little better. Okay, so you open the box up, and you have some foam, a little pamphlet, and then you have two solid shifter bushings, and this is a weight that goes on top of one of the cables. I believe one is for reverse, and then one's for all the other gears. And then you have a bolt that screws down through this onto the top of this. So it's pretty basic, should be a pretty easy install. And this is a little different than the Mazda, because on the Mazda, the shifter bushings were inside the cab under the shifter itself. But on the Focus ST, we're actually going to be working kind of right in here in the engine bay, so kind of where you would put your shift weight on the Speed 3. So we got to get under there, so we're going to have to take off the air intake filter, this plastic piece, and then we should have access to it right in there. Alright, I'm just going to use my flathead screwdriver to take off the air filter. This turbo inlet pipe, we're going to take that off. This slides off. Like that. And then I think this will take off from mass airflow sensor. Oh, actually it's riveted right onto that. So for this, there's actually a little tab right here you pull over. There's another tab actually that holds this piece on. Alright, we're going to use a screwdriver to kind of free this tab on the mass airflow sensor. Alright, so we got that mass airflow sensor. Pull up right next to the battery, and then it should operate. It's a little bit of wiggling, but we got the airbox out, so we set that aside. Battery cover came off. Put that back on. Okay, so now we have access to it after taking the airbox off. Now we have two cable bushings. We have one right here. I believe this one's for reverse, and then this one for all the other gears. And now what you do, you can actually get under here with a flathead. You can pop it up. Very easily comes off. Now we have to use a flathead to kind of get under this black part. There's a green side and a black side. Get under the black side and try to pry that off. It might break, but we're not going to be using it anyway after this, so don't really worry if it does break on you. We're just after the piece in the middle of it all. It's green and it holds on the this cable right to here on this little notch right there, or that little ball. So that's what we're after. So that, if it breaks off, it's gone in oblivion, so you can forget about it. It's probably on the floor right now. But take this off, and this is why it's all sloppy. That is your shifter bushing. So it's just very soft rubber, and that's why it's just all kind of sloppy and not notchy at all when you're shifting. So that is why we are putting in these solid shifter bushings. I mean, just look at the difference. I mean, that's all squishy, and this is nice and solid. This is what we're gonna want for that notchy shifting feel. So now we have to free this little green piece inside here, which we have to take this off. We're just gonna kind of chip away at it. I think if I take a Victorinox knife, you see that little space right there, if I just slice this right down the side, I should be able to take some pliers and kind of peel off the other sides of it, kind of free this up. So I'm gonna try that real quick. Alright, so that's enough to free it, just kind of picking away at it. It was actually easiest cutting down along the side of it, and that was enough to get it out. Alright, now that we got this little green guy out, just gonna unscrew this JBR solid shifter bushing. And we're gonna make this guy face downward like that. So that's basically how it's gonna sit. It's gonna attach right here. It's gonna sit down like that. And then the weight is gonna sit on top of the shifter bushing. And then this bolt go down and screw into the top of this. So we're going to push in the part that says JBR into the shifter cable. Then we're going to screw in the other side. That's good. And then just put it right back on. The little tab. That's secure. Then we can take our weight. So put the weight on, and then washer, lock washer, bolt, go right on top. We'll secure this with a 10 mil, but that's that. And now we can work away at this other one that is planted sideways. The other one's the same process of breaking off the plastic piece that sits on top of one side. This one has like a weird looking rubber bushing, but we're still after this guy. So we're going to take this off. Unscrew the JBR bushing. Put it face down like that. It'll snap right in. And then you're going to put the JBR piece in first, then the other side screw in this other end. Second one was kind of a pain, but what I did is I took the side that says JBR, and when I was pushing that into this middle piece, I used this, just put it upside down and kind of press down on it, and that was enough to kind of get it on. And then you screw in the other side, pop it on that tab, and we're all good. We just have to tighten down this with, I believe it's a 10 mil, so we'll do that really quick. I actually had to get some vice grips to grip onto the just JBR bushing just so it's not turning, and then you can tighten this down really easily. Okay, before we put everything back together, let's test it out. Oh yeah, that's way nicer. That feels way nicer. This is how it should come from the factory, I think, because the rubber bushings, it's so sloppy. This is definitely more rugged. That's the only way I can kind of explain it. But yeah, now we just have to put the intake box on, the air filter, and then that's gonna wrap up this video. So let's go do that really quick. There's some tabs here, and there's a tab here that clamp on here and right next to the battery box. That one's in, and now this top piece. Oops. There we go. Go into this little snorkel thing. That's good. Plug in our mass airflow sensor. Put the tab back on for that. And tighten up this hose again with our flathead. If you take off your battery cover, it'll make it so you have a better angle to tighten this clamp right there. All right, now for the intake. Boom. Put our battery cover back on, and that completes the install. So there you have it, guys. Solid shifter bushing install for the Focus ST. Really easy, and it makes the shifting experience a lot better in my opinion. So yeah, that's a quick, easy first thing to do when you get your car. It's not expensive. If you're new to the channel and want to stick around for the series on this Focus ST, hit that subscribe button. We'll be pushing content out, hopefully 1 video a week. Now that things have slowed down, I'm in my shop for lobster bait, but this is kind of like my clean bay, so I can work on cars. So we're going to be using this in the winter. Got heat, got good lighting, and yeah, so I'll have some time. So we're going to be making some videos on this. Definitely going to do a downpipe this winter. Going to do a turbo swap, and just kind of build this car to what we want it to be and have fun doing it. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.